All right, well, let's get started. Today we're going to cover what is Canva, why should I use it? We're going to quickly do an overview. What is good design? I mean, that's an impossible thing to give you, 10 things. If you do this, it'll be good design. It's subjective, which makes it hard, but also you can kind of tell if you look at something and you're like, that is just not beautiful today. And that's okay. We can work with it. And then we'll take some questions at the end. All right, so Canva. They call themselves a graphic design platform used to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, documents, and other visual content. On their website, they say that if you need a template for something, they are for like social media wise or even print materials, they should have it on there. They kind of have like this promise that it should be readily available to you. Why you should use it. It's user-friendly, it is free, and it gives you access to several pre-made templates and graphic elements. So now we're going to talk about, what is good design. I could talk about this for hours with you, with examples of bad things that I have made in the past, because I have. The main thing is you want to make sure that you have high contrast between the copy, so the text on your graphic or print material, and the background. For instance, if you are handing out a flyer and it has a navy blue photo on the background, you don't want a very thin black text on it. You would want probably something a pretty chunky text that's white, so that there's high contrast for readability, but also accessibility. Like you want to think about the Democrats in the state who maybe have a visual impairment and things like that. And that is something that I'm teaming up with the Disability Caucus on, because my grandparents are deaf, so I'm pretty sensitive and knowledgeable on things that we need to do for the deaf community, but I'm not as knowledgeable for the visually impaired community, and that is something extremely important. And I'm teaming up with them to try to figure out best practices. I'm going to try to come up with like a one-page, sort of like PDF document that outlines these for people. And when I do, I will make sure I get it to everyone. But as of right now, that is something we are working towards, and I would love to share that with all of you guys later on when we have that. You also want to have clear hierarchy of information. So, most important thing at the top, probably the biggest thing, probably the boldest, and then more information underneath, because the eye reads top down, left to right, not bottom up, right to left. Some tips are to use a pre-made template, because the colors are all going to go well with each other, and using a serif and a sans serif font together is a good best practice. That was just something I was taught in graphic design school. A sans serif, does everyone know what a serif or a sans serif is? Sans, I believe it means without. So a serif is, for instance, Times New Roman has the feet on the end of the letters. And a sans serif means without. So that would be something like Arial. And I'll show you guys this when we open them up. But it's you don't normally want to use two serifs and two sans serifs, because it can make it harder to read, actually. Just having the contrast between the two is a good practice. However, I have broken that rule. Sometimes it's okay to do it. It really just depends on what your graphic is and everything. Again, that's very nitty-gritty, but you're all here and I want to teach you the right things. Okay, so now I'm going to walk you through Canva. Let me close out MailChimp from earlier. We can close out this. All right. So once you make an account, this is what the dashboard looks like. You can see your recent designs. So I designed some templates for Buncombe County, which I can show you all later. That way they can edit them whenever they have an event, and save it, and try to streamline some of their designs. And that way I'm not making a graphic every single time they have an event. Another really great function is you can see, let's say we wanted to make an Instagram post for something. It could be anything. You can click on Instagram posts, or you could search it up here and it would pull this up. You want to filter it to be free, not free and pro, because pro is for the paid Canva account. But you can see they have all of these templates. If you hover over it, you can see that says paid. but there are some that are free. There's a lot of them that are free, but they are mixed in. All right, so this one's cute. The gradients are very in right now. Let's just click on this and see how much we can edit this. I'm assuming we can edit the colors and everything like that, but we will see. Some are even more animated or editable than others. Sorry, I just saw the word animate. So if you click on this, you can select the text. We could call this how to vote by mail. That's what we're going to do this one. And look, it didn't fit. That's fine. You can drag it and it tells you if it's centered or not. If you wanted to align it to that, you can see how that dotted line shows up. It's really a great function. That's something that they do in like Illustrator and InDesign that a lot of like Word or PowerPoint doesn't do. So I think that's a really great function. If you select the text, you can change it to a font. Montserrat is a good one. That's one that we use a lot. You could bold it. You can change the colors. And we have our NCDP brand colors. So, you know, you could have a reoccurring color palette that's always loaded into your account. I mean, you can seriously, you can do so many things. You can change the text to have, you know, look, that's kind of a new, it's not necessarily like modern, but it's kind of like a new thing people are doing that would probably attract younger people. So let's say we're going to do that and we want to make this fit on one line. Cool. All right. So then you could edit these if you want. I mean, you can move them over. We're just going to keep playing around. Here you can see I just selected this color. Let's see if I click on this, if we can. Okay, so I think this is several different levels of editing. Okay, so this one's a little weird, but this one, if you click around, you can find all of the other different colors that are within it. And then you can see that how to vote by mail. Mail gets a little bit lost on here. This would not be a great thing. You would want to make sure it's like more readable, however that was. But then if you, let's say this was the most beautiful thing we've ever made and we are ready to save this, you would go to download a PNG. PNG is the best thing to be sharing for web. If you wanted to print, a JPEG is better. PDF is always best, but JPEG would be a better way to print. It keeps the pixels and the colors more consistent. But usually everything you're doing at the county level, like most of this is going to be digital. So let's keep this as a PNG. We're going to download, and then that would save to your computer. Also, if you wanted to share this link with anyone, you could click get shareable link, but also you can do that right here. You can click share, and then you could share it with anyone on your, yes, Richard, you have a question.
Yeah, so I understand PDF and JPEG. What are the advantages of PNG?
So PNG will make the image load faster online. It reduces some of the information, like background information and sizing, so that it's not as clunky and large of a file going on a website. So if you're ever on a website and you're scrolling and you're like, oh, it's kind of taking a while to load, or even an email, for instance, a PNG is a better thing to have. It's meant to be the web format, whereas JPEG is meant to be the print format.
Thanks, that's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie?
Yes.
The reason that I like JPEG to send in an email, and also I use Facebook a lot, is because the image shows up without a person having to click in to the PNG, for example, or the PDF.
So with a PNG, you shouldn't have to click into it. You should be able to insert that into the body of an email. I know with a PDF, you'd have to like attach it. A PNG should act the same way as a JPEG. However, if a
Oh.
JPEG has been working for you and you want to stick with that, there's not really a right, or like so many people email JPEGs, it's fine. But a PNG might help download faster.
Thank you. I didn't realize that it shows up.
Yeah, it should. And if you ever have an issue with it, please let me know, and I'm happy to walk you through that. But a PNG should functionality kind of be the same as a JPEG.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right. Hey, Marlene, just saw your chat. All right. So now I'm going to show you guys some elements. Again, this is not a design that I'd be like, everyone needs to go promote this. I'm kind of just throwing things on here so you guys can see all of the different functions. And then I will show you kind of making a template from scratch. So over on this left-hand side, you can see that there's templates, which is where we are. There's coronavirus Instagram posts. And I mean, this is free. And these like little figure icons are very trendy right now. And you could edit them, all of that. This is also very trendy. This could be appropriate for an event. If you wanted to promote an event, you can drop an image on there if you want. There's free photos that you could have, stock images that could be, the background at a lower transparency so that you could have text on top of it. If, let's say you had something about masks and you wanted this to be the background, or even at the bottom of your thing. They have so many, apparently millions is what this search bar says, millions of photos. They also have elements. So, I mean, if you wanted to drop a heart, if it was Valentine's Day and you wanted a heart on there, you could. There's effects. I think sometimes you can even animate certain ones of these elements, which is something I would just definitely, I would definitely tell you to play around with. So one thing I said in the last or 2 trainings ago with the digital tools training is when you are scrolling, or when you post something and consumers are scrolling to see your post, I think on average, they have 2.7 seconds to see your post before they keep scrolling on their phone. That was as of a couple years ago. I'm sure it's probably down to like 2 seconds as of now. One way to grab people's attention is to have a GIF or some type of motion graphic, something moving on your screen, because it grabs their attention. So, utilizing these little stickers over here could be a really good idea, as long as it didn't make it look cheesy. It didn't take away from the design. Another thing I always also tell people is the goal of your posts is not to get the most likes. It is not to get more likes than another caucus or than another state, or to be whatever. It is to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. That is our main goal. That is the whole point of all of us organizing. And in order to, elect more Democrats, we do have to get attention from people, which can be hard. You can feel like sometimes your message is drowning out, but it is important to be consistent. It is important to utilize these things once in a while, like having a motion graphic to grab people's attention so that they look, and then maybe we'll share the graphic. But again, it's not to get likes or anything like that. It's really to elect Democrats. So there's so many. There's even charts if you wanted to show like the amount of people vaccinated in your county. There's all of these pre-made things that you can use. I really encourage everyone this weekend to really play around with Canva. Feel free to add me to your teams. I'll show you guys. You can make teams, and that way people, I would recommend your county chair, first vice, second vice, third vice, everyone is on your Canva team. That way they can see the graphics you're making. They can make, they can edit it, but they can also just give you feedback. I'm happy if you want to add me, and I don't need to approve your graphics, but if you guys felt more comfortable with that at first, I'm happy to give you constructive feedback of what would make this better, what would make this more readable. If you guys need help, even just making a couple templates to get started, I'm happy to do that. But yeah, there are endless amount of options. Like that's a different background you could add of a gradient. Canva is like really an amazing tool that we could spend hours just looking through everything, because really you just have to figure out what the resources are within, and it's always updating. They're always giving more content. And I don't mean this in like in a daunting way. I want everyone to be excited about this, because you are all going to be able to make amazing graphics with this completely free resource that is user friendly. Okay, so I want to go back a little bit. Is everyone good so far? I see that there's a chat. Richard, do you have a question? Or is your hand just up still?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. This is free. Everything I've been showing you guys is free. We do not pay for Canva. Yep. If you ever hover over something and it says you have to upgrade, that's the only time it's free. So we're back to the home screen. Right down here where it says NCDP digital team, my digital director, Lily, I'm sorry guys, it's been a long day. My words are starting to go all together. She made a team because we made some graphics for the, they're the House or Senate caucus, and then also for Buncombe County. And so these are all of our designs that we've done. We've only done like 2 sets of designs for them. But if you look in folders, you can organize everything. So I have a Buncombe County folder, and then the templates for House caucus. Once you can't share people on a folder unless they are part of your team. But if you click within the folder and click on an individual design, right here, you can click share. So this is how you will share with other people. So you can see I shared with Barrett at Buncombe County, and now she has this in her Canva account and can update this every time she wants to promote an event. She can do that by typing in the event. And I told her, make a duplicate of this, or like a copy, or add a page, copy and paste that here. Here, I'll show you guys. Let's copy. Let's paste. Oh, it didn't want to paste the background photo, but that's fine, because I actually wanted to show you guys that, you can use the same, is that not a background photo? You can use the same template a few times. Having the same background photo, having consistent branding is great. That is a fine thing, but you don't want everything to look the same. You want to update it sometimes. So this way she has this template, she's duplicated it. And then let's say we were having like a, I don't know, let's just throw some wood on there. Don't ever put like wood on your background, but like you can see how easy it is. They've all these pre-made things, and you can like upload your designs in here. So if you had an image of landscape from your county that you wanted, you could do that. You could switch it up. If it was an event and you wanted the speakers attending your event on here, you could, that's where you would, sorry, I got to get rid of this background. This is, okay. So let's say you also had a speaker so this was background photos. If you go up here to photos, let's say this was one of our speakers. Oh, that cropped. We don't want to do that. So if we click on this, okay. If you hold the shift button, it crops it down. If you don't hold the shift button and you just drag this corner, it sizes it. It's not going to mess up the ratio of the image. So it won't like make it really skinny or anything. So let's pretend that was the speaker of the person. You could add that down here. One thing I wanted to address, I get actually a lot of questions about this in the content package. We very often put buttons on our graphics. This is what we call a call to action. So with graphics that you are posting, even if it's not on the actual graphic, you want to have a call to action at least in the caption. And maybe it says sign up now and it's the link to the registration, to the Mobilize, or maybe it's donate now and it's a link to your Act Blue page or something like that. but very often we add a button on here that is not clickable. This is not clickable. It just looks like a button, and people register that as a call to action. And they're like, oh, I have a next step, because you want them to see your posts and think, okay, what do I do now? How do I react to this? How do I help elect Democrats because of this? So you want to give them a call to action. So that's what we do with these. It's not meant to actually be necessarily clickable. However, if this was your event graphic, you were totally ready, you dropped this in the body of your email, you can link pictures so that if people click on the picture, it would take them to a registration. And if you have a button on there, I recommend doing that. Does that make sense? Linking an image in an email, or I can also talk about that offline with you guys if anyone's lost. Okay. So those are all the main things. Does anyone have any specific questions right now?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Connie.
Regarding the links, the buttons and the links. All right, so you're saying that you would create the image of a button in Canva, and you would also create the link
Yeah, so
in Canva. Is this something-
yes, that's correct. And you don't have to make a button. I'm about to
Okay,
pull up.
no, I understand, but let's suppose you're bringing this image into MailChimp, you know, button and all.
Mhm.
Would the link then also come into MailChimp, or are you better off just creating the image of the button and creating the link then in MailChimp?
I would do it all. I would drop the image. I would link the image. I would also have a button at the end of the email with the same link.
Okay.
People can be given this. I mean, the amount of emails that we send sometimes with things, sometimes you have to have it a few times in the email so people click
Right.
on one thing and then find it. So anytime you can link something, I do.
Okay.
And I don't think it would be overly redundant, but
No.
maybe instead of having the image with the button right over the button, the image is a little bit up higher in the email. So it's not like two buttons back to back.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense? And then
Yeah.
like, I'm going to try to find a example of, so sometimes we, let me see. So this does not have a button or anything like that. But sometimes what we do is at the bottom, we do like a rectangular box that goes across the entire thing with our logo in it, or with a call to action down there. And it doesn't look like a button, but the call to action is separate from the graphic. That way people can focus on it. There's high contrast, because this has a lot going on. And if you have like donate now written across the bottom, that's not going to grab people's eye unless it's on a solid background. So that's why a button is good. It's not even necessarily to look like a button. It's really also to help readability, and it can go across the entire bottom of the screen if that is totally fine.
So I'm going to continue just creating buttons in MailChimp just to make sure that things don't get confusing.
Perfect. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't stop. I think if you had to choose between the two, I would do a button.
Right.
But sometimes I think people respond well when there's also a graphic in the email instead of just text. So, it can be helpful with that. Absolutely. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay, so one of the questions I received was, does it make sense to have a postcard template with matching Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, etc.? Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes sense. I'm actually going to show you guys a sneak peek of an email we are going to send Sunday. It is Governor Cooper's birthday. Hopefully my digital director doesn't care that I'm doing this, but it's fine. Okay, so yes, streamlining several things together makes a lot of sense. You want your event to all look consistent. And I'm pulling up Illustrator. Let's pretend that this is Canva. It would do the same thing. Why is it not opening? All right, can you all see this or no?
Yeah.
With Governor Cooper? Okay, so that was an example. But this is a email template over here that I'm gonna send. And I made a corresponding Facebook image and a corresponding Twitter image. So yes, it makes sense to keep things consistent. So when we did these Building Blue training promotional things, we tried to keep all of them consistent throughout all of them, even the email templates that we would send. But we also have the bandwidth to do that. If you guys do not, it is the most important thing is to get the message out. So don't ever feel like hung up on something like that. Also, it doesn't have to be a graphic with every single post. Sometimes a news article is a great thing to add on because usually it also adds a little image underneath it. So it can also just be a link. It can be something like that.
Working on this one, not the other ones.
And then there was another question. If we upload our own images for use to the Canva program, what format do they need to be in? I would do PNG.
My PowerPoint stopped working.
Which you can, let me see if I can show you guys how to do that really quick. Would that be helpful if I showed you guys how to upload an image, or do you guys feel like that'd be helpful? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. So we are going to go back to Buncombe. Let me do this. So let's see uploads over here on the left-hand side. You can see this. This is where I uploaded their logo and this image that we had copyright permission to use. We bought the rights to this photo. So let's upload from device. So I'm going to choose this from my computer, and then let's find okay, this is a image we use a lot in our backgrounds. So you literally just click upload. It's over here. And then you can select this. You can see that it goes on top because it was not a background image, but we can alter that. So let's see, let's click on this. Let's go to, let me try right clicking this. Yep. So if I just clicked control. For some people, it might be command, and I right clicked. You can send to back, which I'm just going to, perfect. And then you can make it the right size that you want. And then you could just delete the other background if you wanted. There's also no reason to have to do that. So that's how you upload things. All right, more chat questions. Okay, images that are transparent versus not transparent. I should have talked about this with PNGs. So a PNG is the only way to save something as transparent background. That is the best part about a PNG to me. So like this logo right here, that is a transparent background. If you saved that as a JPEG, you cannot do it. It would have a white background and you wouldn't be able to see this logo at all. Or you would have to put it on a navy blue background. But then if you put that logo on here, it would always have like a navy blue square. So saving something as a PNG will give it the transparent background that you need, which is really important for logos. It's very important for other things, but I would say logos are the most important thing for that. Did that answer your question, Lib?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone have any other questions about Canva, or does everyone feel like that was at least a good way to get your toes in the water? It's really just this is one of the platforms where just the more you play with it, the easier it gets. You don't necessarily need more training than what you were just given. You can really kind of play with it and figure it out. Okay, I'm going to, in the chat, drop my email. Yes, it's a lot of trial and error. That is totally normal. You know, you guys will definitely be able to do this, and I'm happy to help whenever I can. All right, I'm dropping my email, and then I'm also going to drop 2 links that are for you to sign up for the content package, and then 1 to sign up for graphics in case y'all need it. You shouldn't ever need it because you all have Canva now, but let's see. ncdp.org/support. All right, so ncdp.org/support, and then you click on digital. So I'm going to send this link. Thank you, Marlene. If you click on request to receive weekly content packages, this is, you just fill out your information. This will send me your request and I will get you signed up. If you scroll down, you can see there's a request for online engagement. If you ever needed a graphic made, this is where I would click on this. And then it just asks you information. If you have a logo you want included, upload it here, but also I will reach out to you with any questions I have. Please don't feel like this is daunting or you won't give me enough info. I've had a lot of people submit this with actually no information inside it at all, not even their name. So as long as you give me that, I'll be happy. And yeah, I think that those are the main things.
Do you have like a quick reference that shows like what dimensions are needed for different types? Like an Instagram is this by this, Facebook is, that many by that many.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, okay, yes, I do. I'm going to send you a link that I had in my social media and digital tools training at the end. This is an amazing,
super helpful link.
Yeah, I mean, I have this link bookmarked somewhere. Yeah, right here on the top right with that R. That's what this says. I literally have it bookmarked still. If you click on this, it tells you, if you scroll, oh, they actually just updated it, which is good because Facebook was 900 by 900. And I think now they're saying 1080 by 1080 maybe. But if you scroll, it gives you everything for a Twitter profile photo, even LinkedIn, like every single social media. It gives you Instagram. I think it might even have, YouTube. So keep this. This is extremely, extremely helpful. Let me see if there were any other things. Oh, one other thing is feel free to share the NCDP and DNC's graphics. If you all do not have the bandwidth to make 5 designs a week, you don't need to. Reshare our content on your pages. That is a great way to keep getting the messaging out, but take a little bit of the stress off of you all and still make your page very current and up to date and engaging. Marlene, yes. What is your group? What was your group again? One of the DEM women?
DEM women, yes. But we don't really.
I thought y'all had a logo. Do you not?
We actually use something that when we do stuff that's already on the web, we've never really did anything that actually says the one welcome county to be and whatever. We don't have anything personal.
Okay. Shoot me an email. Yeah. Let's talk about that for sure. And
Okay.
then I saw a question about do we have a bilingual designer or support person creating content? Not yet. However, I do have 2 bilingual. Lorenzo speaks fluent Spanish, and we have our new finance director is also bilingual, and I'm happy to make y'all content for that. We around Get Out the Vote and GOTV stuff, we were making several graphics in Spanish. I've made several graphics in Spanish that we placed in Latinx newspapers to make sure we got out the vote to the Latinx community. So it's definitely something that we do. I just need someone to at least give me the English that they want translated. We can get it translated. Just give us more than 3 days turnaround. We are very, very happy to do that, and it's something that we want to do more of. It's really important, and I would love to work on that with you. So shoot me an email, make a request, whichever, and we can do that. And then sometimes, well, only once so far, the DNC sent us basically a content package that they wanted us to send to North Carolina, which we did. And they gave us Spanish graphics, but no Spanish captions, which I thought, I mean, it was a step in the right direction to get graphics, but it would have been nice to also get captions. So I do think people are starting to move towards that, but it's something we need to do better. So yeah, Victoria, shoot me an email, send me a request, and we can definitely do that.
I will do that. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Yeah. Richard, do you have a question?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, if that is it, it is 5:31. I have enjoyed meeting all of you and getting our message out a little more. I hope all of this was helpful and not just overwhelming. It's okay if you're a little overwhelmed, as long as you're also motivated and hopeful. And just remember that, you know, we are here to help y'all.
Well,
Thank you, Allie.
Great job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course. You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
guys.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Great night. Great rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You'll definitely be hearing from me. I can promise you that.
Okay, good.
Thank you for the info.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Very helpful training.
Good. I'm so glad. Awesome, guys. Thank you for being here.
It's nice to have a new trick other than PowerPoint.
Yes. Yes.
I lived by PowerPoint for 10 years.
And it's so much easier. It's so much more user friendly. Stuff doesn't get pixelated. I mean, there's actual pre-made templates. It's really such a great tool. I mean, it's so cool that it's free. I mean, even if it was $5 a month, I'd be like, everyone go use it, because it's going to save you so much time. Like it's really a great tool.
It'll be fun to convert.
Yes, I know. Now
Thank
that's
you.
the next step. Yeah, let me know if I can be any help.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right.
From Tarboro.
Oh, okay. I'm from Greenville, so I know Tarboro well. I did swim team, and we'd go over to Tarboro for swim meets. So
I was on the swim team 13 years.
Yeah.
From age 5 to whatever. Oh, no,
I was
9
on for
years.
a while, but that did not mean I was good. I was more of a soccer player, and you know, I liked it, but that was not my main sport. I have some friends who swam in college, and it's crazy. So I applaud everyone.
Well, thank you. And when you come over to Tarboro, send me a message and we'll meet at TBC and taste something new and different.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you. I definitely will. I know.
They
I'm so
took
happy
one of
we
their-
can start meeting in person safely again.
Oh, well, we've been doing that down. They require everybody to either wear a mask or have been vaccinated, and
Yes.
there's plenty of space. So we do well. And in the last of every month, there's a wine tasting on the square from 2 to 4.
Oh, that's
And it's
so
free if you
fun.
buy one bottle of wine.
That is so fun. Well,
Oh, it is every
you
month.
had me at wine tasting, so we can
Well,
definitely do that.
We did it every end of the last Saturday all throughout COVID because we sat outside.
Mm-hmm.
Even in January.
It's so nice, all these places that have so much outdoor seating. I mean, I feel like forever, I mean, especially even with flu season, like in the future, I'll just sit outside. Like you won't catch me inside during
I really
future.
don't trust ventilation systems. Oh, I know that every vent that they have there is double filtered and everything, and they change them regularly. For people who have asthma and other allergies, it's just not worth the risk.
I agree.
So
Awesome.
I'd rather stay outdoors. And next Saturday we're having Democratic women get together on the back of my driveway, and your own chair, your own glass, and your own little
Oh, that's so nice.
That's been a regular for us. So thank you.
Yeah.
And come visit in Tarboro.
I will.
You can't miss me. I'm the pink house on Main Street with the wheelchair ramp out front.
Okay. I will
handicapped
keep an
dog.
eye out. That sounds hard to miss. I love it.
Thank you. And
All
you did a
right.
great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right, Adrian, I just saw your message. You're good to go. Thank you. All right, Calvin, Jane, and Henrietta, are y'all good? I'm thinking I'm gonna end the Zoom. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm trying. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get back to the home session.
Okay, do you need help?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna end this. So nice meeting y'all.
Okay.
Thank you
and
for a
Bye.
great job.
I didn't have questions, but I'm new, so I'm learning all this stuff. So I'm just taking it all in.
Good. Yeah. If whatever questions you have, let me know. And
Yeah.
then if you need an additional walkthrough, I'm sure other people will as well. And we can schedule a time where it's maybe 5 people and we can all get on and we can kind of go through this stuff again.
I think if I go through all that, I think I'm gonna be okay, but you don't know. But right now, I can pretty much understand what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
and we have all of these recorded and they will be posted online so you can rewatch them and, you know, pause it and try to do some things and see what I was doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Amazing.
Okay, thanks a
All
lot.
right, have a good weekend.
Very
Bye.
good.